And start up my back scratcher. This whole place is a mess. Let's see. It's been so long since I did a stream or a video. I don't even know how to turn half the stuff on anymore. For some reason, my light doesn't want to turn on now. Maybe it's better I do this in the dark since I'm literally in the dark with everything going on right now. So I'm glad y'all are here. For whoever is here, I'm glad y'all are here to tell me what the hell's going on. Welcome to the worst crypto YouTube channel on YouTube. If there was an award for that, it would be this one, because sometimes I wonder if I should just shut this channel down, because I feel like I do a disservice to y'all because I'm out of it. Like, I can't tell you how overwhelming work is right now. I need a vacation on the beach with a little umbrella drink right now. Like, that's how bad it is. I can't wait for this week to be over with, Mardi Gras to be over with. Getting called into last minute meetings like last night, I felt bad canceling on y'all. My stream deck still doesn't even want to turn on. It just has a big stream deck symbol. So I have no light. But it's crazy. Everything's crazy right now. I thought I was having chest pains. I don't know if I was having a panic attack at work earlier. I got pissed off. I walked out of a meeting. I'm like, I gotta last 5 more months. And then I'm doing a YouTube live tonight, and I have no idea what the hell I'm even going to talk about. I don't know what's even happening in crypto. I'm being dead on. Like I said, this is the worst YouTube channel. I'm here to hang out with my friends. Welcome, friends. That's Monday I looked around at some videos. There's my light. I looked around some projects, and I'm like, I don't see nothing to really even talk about. I need a haircut bad. Like, I don't have time to go to. I've been eating lunch at my desk. That's how crazy work is right now with this Mardi Gras stuff. I'm gonna get my. So I'm not trying to get y'all to feel sorry for me. I'm just letting y'all know times are crazy. This is a part-time gig, but I still feel somewhat responsibility to y'all to come chit chat and post things every now and then. I'd like to do a video too. I'm not even gonna say a lot of y'all. I don't have time to even do a video, or have stuff to do videos on. I'm not saying crypto is dead, but crypto's taking a little nap right now, a little nappy nap. It's crazy. So how's everybody else doing? Because it's crazy. For the rest of the world that doesn't have a gigantic carnival going on this weekend in their area, 3 parades actually. You'd be surprised how much planning and stuff goes into this crap. Here's some hot news for y'all. TradingViews got up to 80% off for Valentine's Day. But I spent all my money on my wife's Valentine's Day, so I can't spend anything on myself to renew my TradingView. It's like $100-something right now. Bitcoin back down to 67,580. And you know what's funny is I keep telling y'all, I have no idea what I'm doing with this TA crap. But really, you look at this line, and it might have adjusted a tad, but it's still kind of still going in the same direction. This is the 1 hour chart. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first time I'm looking at crypto since probably the weekend. I knew it's been going this general direction because, like I said, I got friends at work who are in the stocks, and at one time it was okay. No, let me phrase that. It ain't never freaking okay. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to listen to their shit because stocks were going down too. Gold was going down too. Well, stocks are rebounding. I'm listening to the news today on the way to work, and talking about how stock market's rebounding, and I'm looking at this saying, what the hell's going on here? Are retail and the big whales taking their money out of stock and putting it into, I'm sorry, taking it out of crypto and putting it into stock? Is gold going back up? Like, are we really going? Like, I know I talked about this last week, but are we really going into another bear market already? Like, I'm not ready for that. I can't handle that right now. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Well, if that's not a crazy looking chart, that's the one day. And I got some lines on here, don't I? This is Ethereum. It ain't doing no better. The one positive thing about Crow being at 7 cents, as I told y'all, I've had to dip into some of my Crow reserves. I think I would have had 35,000 Crow, maybe 40,000 Crow, and I've had to dip into it some because times are tight. I got a lot of stuff going on. I keep telling y'all, there's always something new around my house, something else going on. My son always needs money for something with college. My daughter keeps, hitting stuff like she's in a bumper car. I know I got to replace a $300 oil pan right now and all this other crap. So I've had to dip a little bit into Crow. And my plan, the positive thing is if I'm selling Crow at 10 cents and 9 cents, it going down to 7 cents or 8 cents or 6 cents, when I reimburse that, take money out my check or whatever I'm going to do, it's easier to replace at the cheaper price. But hey guys, we got to spin this positive anyway, any way we can right now. Salon is at $80. Peaks at a little under 2 cents. I don't know what to do with peak, guys. I'm gonna tell y'all know I've been DCAing into peak since it was like 60 cents, 50 cents. My average cost right now, because crypto.com likes to remind you what it is. My average cost right now, buy-in cost on peak, is still like 14 cents. So I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to. I'm not doing it for investment purposes. So don't follow me. None of this is financial advice. Y'all know that. What I'm gonna tell you is I am gonna buy some more peak probably when I get paid Friday, especially if it keeps going down. And I'm strictly doing that, trying to get my average buy-in cost down. I'm talking about like $20, $30. That's it. When I get paid, again, this is financial advice, but y'all know I like to tell y'all sometimes what I'm doing. I don't even think I'm buying vet. I think that I'm gonna buy some Crow just to get that back in there, some peak, maybe a little bit of Solana, and maybe some Bitcoin while Bitcoin's down low. I don't know yet. So much can change in 2 days and 48 hours. I don't know. XRP's at $1.38. This is another one. This goes to show you all these goofy videos. XRP and Ripple were done because they were in the Epstein files and all this stupid crap and these and video things that we saw on YouTube and all this crap. Here still is. ICP's down to 236. What else? Oh, got the antenna for the new Wingbits station today. Thanks for pointing me to the right one. Is that Roberto? Or Roberto? Oh, no problem, man. Glad you're on board with the antenna. I don't even know if I should even make this comment, but I am, because it's been coming up. I am having an issue right now. Listen, I'm gonna say this, but y'all used to watch the movie, like the TV show NCIS. Gibbs had a rule. Let's see if I can find it real. Like, look, I understand it's a TV show, and there are such things, but Gibbs used to have a rule, and I like to use this a lot. Rule 39, there's no such thing as coincidences, but maybe there's a coincidence. But I'm having problems with my stations I have with my group of buddies that I tell y'all about. And look, I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about one here, then one of my other 15 stations. Well, not 15, because one of them is a WB200. I'm talking about one of my 14 stations. But either way, one of my 14 stations this week, another one next week, another one next week, another one next week. One of my 5 stations I have my group of buddies. I have 3 that I host or that I help a friend at work. I've told you about him. His name's Jason. He has stations. He has one that's literally 500 feet from the airport in New Orleans for low altitude stuff. And he's got 2 more. One in Gatlinburg, until I think somebody stole it last week. It's a whole nother story. But literally stole it. The thing's gone. And he has another one further in South Louisiana. And I got one for my sister. 2 of them actually for my sister. All of them. The ones for my sister, I had to go in there, reboot it yesterday. Jason's got one every now. Either way, the SDR keeps falling off. But what's happening is sometimes the whole SDR falls off, where when you look at the TAR 1090 screen, you get the like server issue, whatever, check your network type thing, and reboot fix it. But I'm even having problems on my station on my tower that has a they call them mini AirSpy Mini, where the TAR 1090 screen just goes to 0 planes. So therefore, Wingbits doesn't alert you that it's offline because technically it can see it. So I asked Axie, I said, look, I don't know if you want me to put this in as a change request or a suggestion request in the suggestion box or something. But right now, we only get alerted if on DIY stations if the whole thing is offline. But I'm having stations that the SDR is showing 0 for some reason. Now look, these are all different brand SDRs. But like I said, I have 14 personal stations. Not all 14 have did it. But I'm telling you, every week it's one. I go in there and check the scores or my points or something, or I just happen to go check them and I'm seeing them drop. And look, some of them ain't doing it at all. But I just know that out of the last 5 or 6 weeks, I have to go in either one of mine, my sisters, my friends, my other groups, and reboot. And sometimes a reboot fixes it. Sometimes I got to reboot it 3 times. Then it mysteriously comes up. It's like the SDR just falls off the rail, if that's the term they use. And again, sometimes it tells you that it's completely offline, like you get the little yellow box in the bottom left, or sometimes it shows you the TAR 1090 screen and you got just 0 airplanes showing. On my AirSpy Mini, I've even replaced the LNA. I've even removed the LNA. So it's strictly an AirSpy Mini to now my planes go down, I lose about 30, 40 aircraft, but either way it's working. And then 2 or 3 days later, it's dropped off again. Reboot, comes up. I see that they have a couple of people every now and then mentioning it offline. And what they tell them, like Daniel, y'all know I've helped Daniel out. I don't know if he's in the chat because it's way different time in Africa. Daniel had the same issue also. He had 2 of his stations showing completely offline and then mysteriously come back up. 2 different stations, 2 completely different locations, or he had the same issue where it was online and his server was showing, no server or whatever the hell it is, the SDR issue. Coincidental? Maybe. I don't know. Because before this started about 3 or 4 weeks ago, my DIYs have been rock solid. Knock on wood. Other than the occasional SDR that goes out, but we haven't had any thunderstorms this wintertime. So I don't know. I got a new WB 200 from HiFix. We're planning on sending it to Alaska, but I'm holding it for now, waiting for the fix. What fix is that? Jay Styles, I did make a 24-hour cron job reboot. I've gone into every single one and I'm gonna tell you, the ones I do find doing it, when you go uptime on the SSH, whatever you want to call it, client, whatever you call it, you type uptime, and it's only like 5 hours or 7 hours. That's how quick it's falling off. So I at first I had a cron. I have a cron job on every one of my DIY devices for 4 days. That's why I started doing it at first. Then I do some at 3 days. But either way, I learned 3 years ago. We've been in this project for 3 years now. 3 years ago, I learned that stuff happens. These things lock up. So I'm gonna say 3 years ago I started it, but I would say 2 years ago I basically I put a cron job on every device to reboot automatically, and all my lockups kind of went away, where I couldn't get to a device anymore. Because even if it locks up, it automatically reboots. My more because of EarnApp is another one that falls off, where all of a sudden on the EarnApp website it shows it offline, but if you go to the SSH of that device and you press EarnApp status, it says EarnApp online. Well, there's a disconnect somewhere, a reboot, and it fixes it. So I have basically put a 1 or 2 day cron job restart on every one of my devices, every single one, and it still falls off. Working on a fix. Like I know that some of the original WB200s. What's that piece of trash at? I was trying to use it as a door stop and it failed doing that also. So there was an insert that they made to be protection on it or something like that to go on top of here. That was their fix. Now, if there's another fix, I don't know if there was an issue or something like that. Again, I haven't followed it. That knock on wood. Please don't jinx me. But knock on wood. I got a replacement WB200 for this one, and iFix sent it out quickly. I can't complain about that. And knock on wood, please don't jinx me. Knock on wood again. I know you're sick of hearing me saying it. It's been rock solid by the lake with no issues. Please don't go down tomorrow. Please. Please. Crypto gods. So, yeah. Yeah, 619. I got mine started at 4 a.m. my time, which I think it does it at 4:05 because it has like some kind of 5-minute wait or something like that. So like 4 or 5 a.m. my time, Central Time, is when mine falls off. Kyle Coffee wants to know, guys, is SkyX dead? I can't see the Discord. They kicked him off because he told them where to go. I'm sorry, that's not what he said. He told them something about the bots 5 months ago. Twitter has no updates in several months. Seems like the rugged before going live. Let's take a look. If I'm still part of SkyX, because I kind of saw that writing on the wall, especially after what happened with I belong to way too many, but especially after the new bill, I'm sorry. I belong to way too many Discord servers. I mean, XNet. I think I'm in some. I'll tell you, I was in SkyX, but I don't see it no more on mine either. Now, I'm not saying I got booted. I might have just one day said I don't need to be in 107 servers. I can live with 100 servers. And that might have been one of the ones I canceled out since I wasn't going to be in that one. I mean, come on, like who doesn't want to be in the Starlink for weather? You can't be more original than that. Really? Can't come up with your own original crap. So they've been on. I mean, I'm sure this is like the AI bots, kind of like what Nubla was doing, but this is all to me AI crap, because you're going back to January 31st. There's not a single post to tell me what SkyX has been doing. They tell me why SkyX, and so here you go. So January 26th, quick update. Sky 300 testing is rolling into Europe. App updates, quiet progress, real work, steady, but no hype, just building, whatever. So that's the 26th, which was 15 days ago. Well, it's a good thing it's not raining here, because this fucking, I'm sorry, well, I can't curse. It's been a long day. I apologize. Take that back. Because this freaking sensor wouldn't be able to tell you. This is just like Nubla. It ain't gonna tell you which direction that wind's coming from, which they're blocking it with a wall, so that tells you how good this information would even be. But listen, if y'all in SkyX and y'all think highly of it, I apologize. But Nubla has wrecked my feelings on these type of weather stations. You just this isn't going to tell me if it's raining and storming right now. This device has no idea. Rain is an important part of weather forecasting or whatever this data is going to go to. I learned my lesson from Nubla. I ain't going to get hosed on this one. That one. Starlink weather. It's not that I want the rain data. It's just I do enough with weather stuff, with weather planning for on public safety side. And part of it is we need to know how much it's raining and how fast it's raining. Because we have certain roads that we know if we get a certain rain measurement, 2 inches of rain in an hour, 3 inches of rain in an hour, a certain rain rate, we know which roads we have to start closing or monitoring for flooding or anything like that. My Davis weather station right there on the front says this is the rain rate. Hell, even Goofy Weather XM says, what's that say in the top left corner? Precipitation rate. How many inches per hour? So I could use this in the emergency ops center because it's going to tell me how much rain we're getting an hour, and I know what roads are about to have problems with. This in Nubla is not telling me that. When I'm dealing with a hurricane and I know it's coming from this direction, I know by looking at the winds how far we are into this hurricane because the winds are going to shift. I need to know when those winds shift because we're on the Lake Pontchartrain, which is directly connected to the Gulf of Mexico. In Hurricane Ida, we have people with feet of water in their house. We know when we get a certain wind from a certain direction for so much time, we know which neighborhoods are going to start flooding. If I rely on Nubla or SkyX, I have no idea which way the wind's going. I mean, is that like I said, it's not that I'm trying to hate on them, but I'm just trying to explain to y'all why I harp on that is because that's important data. The Gulf. Odin says SkyX is still planning to release a full weather station early project. Hey, I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. I'll give my second look when it does. I'll be happy to test it for him. If anybody from SkyX is looking, because I'm a weather geek. I just showed though. I have Davis weather stations. I got Weather XM station. I got this other weather station at work. that somebody insisted we had to get, that is constantly going offline. Weather flow tempest device is offline. Weather tempest flow device is offline. Weather tempest flow is offline. Beautiful. So we've tested out some different stations. Look, the stations we're buying for $300. I don't know what this one's going for, but for $300, we can buy 2, almost 3 for what we're buying one Davis. But I still tell you, the Davis in my backyard has lasted through every hurricane since Hurricane Katrina. That's including 100-mile-an-hour winds for Hurricane Ida and 80-mile-an-hour winds for the hurricane, was it Francine, we had 2 weeks ago or 2 years ago. And we also had, who knows how many tropical storms since then. Do you trust your Weather XM station during that? My Weather XM station for Hurricane Francine quit measuring rainfall. It said it wasn't raining. Oh, Gulf of Grumpy. No, I'm the Gestapo, the godfather of the Gulf. Just I don't put what Gulf it is because I'm not getting involved in that. I think it's an awfully conceited thing, but I'm not getting into the politics out of it. Oh. What else? 2 SkyX, they keep going offline. Roberto says I have to put them in the freezer, kill the battery. Oh, yeah, that is you that was saying that. This happens. And who fought it, actually, I believe, said that same thing, as he had that same issue, if he was here, that he was having to do that same thing, is basically kill. But look, I'm going to tell you, I had to do the same thing with this Weather XM station that's here. This is I think it's the D1 Wi-Fi or something like that. It quit working. I changed the batteries out when it was outside, still quit working. No lights, no nothing. I bring it in here. It's in the dark for who knows how long with no batteries in it. Not that I was even trying to reset it. Stayed inside for like a month. Then I'm like, let me just try and see what happens. Put the batteries in it. It's been working fine since. It's been 2 months. Go figure. Sometimes, oh, I know this is going to be a horrible thing to say, but hey, why not stop now? I'm on a roll today. Do you ever feel that sometimes these deep end items are like the Dollar General versions, dollar store versions of real stuff? Or is it just me? Is it just me because I'm in a crappy mood? You know, some of this, and I'm talking about some of these, even like these Wi-Fi hotspots and some of these other things, like some of these things you get in your hand and you're like, what is this place called plastic shit? And you wonder why people start looking at deep in certain ways and stuff. And you know, they probably made a killing on that plastic piece of crap. But some items you just wonder, is deep pin the cheap route? I don't know. Some of y'all don't have Dollar Generals. I don't know. Do they even have Dollar Generals up north, or like 619? Do y'all have Dollar Generals in California? The taxes in there probably cost more than what the items cost inside the store. Temu versions. It is. Some of it does seem like Temu versions. You're right. See, 619 says projects need to be legit and making money before launching. You say that, but you still have people on Discord or YouTube or X who are putting posts. You got, remember, for a little while there was this push by several different, everybody gets in these same little bandwagons. Like it must be a hashtag or something. But talking about how they're not going to get in another deep pin project if the deep pin project can't tell them when they're going TGE. So it means you're never getting early in the project again. How many times have we seen deep in projects that say, we're going TGE in February? And then it's March. We're going TGE now in April, and then it's something else. I'm not talking about just Wingbits. There's been several of them. Or how many are new and go to TGE way too soon, and they're no longer with us, but only in spirit. Or they're still online, but really need to be here in spirit only. Look, I'm not gonna sit and talk for another hour on Wingbits and what they should be doing. I took that poll last week. We discussed it last week for a while. But if you still had to ask me a week later, you technically got what, 6 weeks left for the deadline for TGE. If you had to ask me, Grumpy, do you think Wingbits should push TGE back again? I will start this argument with myself, like with my inner being, on that answer. Because I can give you arguments for both sides. Wingbits says they're not stalling TGE because of the market, but the market is effing horrible right now. Does anybody disagree with that? Now, I will say this. Somebody said in my Discord, you go TGE right now because DPIN is at a very low state, and the only way is up. If you look at it like that, this might be an opportune time. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. I don't know that. It's part of me, and look, I love Wingbits. I still love Wingbits. It's still my number one project in my heart. I'm still hoping it bails me out of all the debt I have and pays off my house. Hey, we can all wish for different things. Pays off all my cars, pays off everything. Gives me a hunting lease in Texas. I got all kinds of plans. But anyway. But saying that, now I can say the negative thing. If they've had these contracts lined up like we heard about in the last ABIC, see, somebody asked me this question. That's what makes I'm cheating. I'm taking somebody else's question. Last month they announced that, hey, we re-signed these contracts. We had 1-year contracts for lower amount till we got more established, and now we've signed multi-year contracts for a lot more money. So if that was like beginning of the year, why is it taking to the end of Q1? I don't know. Again, I'm not knocking them. I trust these guys. The odds are stacked against them. There's a part of me that says they can run the most well-oiled. Y'all tell me if y'all agree or not. I just think the odds are stacked against DPIN. How about that? That Wingbits, even GeoNet, because I like GeoNet a lot, they could run the best oiled machine, best layer 3, with a slight hybrid of layer 2, meaning I said it just as a joke, like meaning it's a good business plan, good solid business plan, paying customers. They can do everything right and possibly still, I don't want to use the word fail, because they can continue in business. Hell, Helium's still in business, but we'll all 619 will tell you it's a failure, but technically still a success right now, right? Wingbits can do everything right. GeoNet can do everything right. Not a single thing. Make every correct decision. But tell me a positive spun, positive DPIN project right now not named GeoNet. And even some people can even argue for GeoNet just because of the pricing. And I guess the part of it is I'm not trying to be negative towards Wingbits. I'm trying to prepare myself. I'm trying to prepare myself that my house will not be paid off, or at least pay off one of my cars, or at least pay off my Hurricane Ida loan I had to take on my house to finish repairs because my freaking insurance company didn't pay enough. Help me out with something. Paying $300 or $400 a month on a loan to get my house fixed 2 years ago. Help me out with something, because that freeing that up will at least free up that money to put towards other things. I ain't got to come on YouTube and beg people for money and, shake a can and on because I'm out of money and shit all the time. Let's see. GeoNet's only down 19% for a month. That's not bad. Think about how much we fell in the last month. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. Only down 6% for a week. Now for the year, they're 50, but that was 30 cents, 12 cents. Like, I don't think that's 59%. Look, I ain't saying that's good. Don't take it the wrong way. But I bet if we go here and start looking at some of these other projects, I'm betting we're going to see them See, they're only down 13%, but can Demo actually get any lower? I think at some point you hit this bottom that you can't go any lower. But they're down 88% in a year. I remember down 40% for a month, 90% for the year. Rover's down 40% for the month, 30% for the month. I mean, $3.75 is down 50%, but hell, that's from 2 cents to 1 cent. Look at them zeros, boy. Them zeros are like rabbits populating in the wild. They sneeze and another zero pops up. Jesus Christ. It's another one I should have cashed out a long time ago. Because where hodling hurt you. Oh. I don't know. I can't look at that no more. You can look at 619's favorite. Helium. 377. What I wouldn't give to get 377 again. And I say that, but if it hits 377, I don't know if I'd sell all my tokens. Hell, I'm looking at $3,000 if I sold all my tokens at 3. All I wanted it was to go back to $10. Then I just wanted it to go back to $5. Now I'm like, just get back to 3. I have zero hope for helium because they're not selling stations anymore, and that's where their money was getting come from. I'm not gonna regurgitate all that. I've said that plenty enough times. You want to see another bad one? Why not? Let's just pick the scab wide open. Well, Sword Chain's up 50% for the month. Yeah, I tried to sell up in here, and they were holding my tokens from me. But for the year, they're down 96%. We're going to end on that one. So, who's got anything new? Everyone's cashing in their coins to pay bills. Look, I'm doing it. I've made it no secret. I've told y'all in several videos. I used to do the little banner that says, you know, I own these tokens, and I'm going to sell when Grumpy needs to sell. Grumpy needed to sell. Told y'all I sold Demo, but a lot of these tokens I just exchanged, like to Solana, USDC, and bought Solana. And I bought Solana on the way down, then it kept going down. I think Crow is basically the only thing I've had to sell because I had so much of it, you know, that I could actually sell when I needed. My daughter needed something for the pharmacy. Payday wasn't for another 2 days. I can't tell her she can't get the medicine. Medicine's $40 or $50, $60 with insurance. I'm taking it from my Crow. Then I'm cashing it to USDC from Crow, then using my Crow card to get the Crow back. But hell, I mean, I ain't getting it back at that rate, but still, you know, I got to do what I got to do. It sucks and it hurts because when you see it like this, you're like, holy hell, dude, I got to survive, you know, and you're not going to see me on this channel. And I'm not saying I never did it, but I've learned a lot in the last 3 years. You're not going to see me on this channel start attacking people or knocking people for selling tokens. We do what we got to do. Now, I might not agree 100%, just to be honest with y'all, on your more popular projects that we know have the legs to go, i.e. Wingbits, or say like a GeoNet or something like that, that like, hey, as soon as I get my tokens, I'm selling. Maybe pump your brakes a little bit. But like I said, when you look at the track record of what's happened to every one of these other D-pins, how do you knock people for selling? The track record's there. I think grass, and I say this all the time, I'm sorry for repeating myself, But I think grass is the only one that people were probably puking in the toilet, because I know a bunch of guys. I was in the Discord with a group of them in a certain project, a certain pink project that was very popular at that time when grass got released 18 months ago. And they sold all their grass right away at 40, 50, 60 cents a piece for this pink project. And then grass goes up to almost $4. I know they were puking. They can laugh it off all they want. Because you look at where that project is. Now, grass sucks too. Grass is way below, I think, below that price. But, but either way, if they would have held on to grass went up to almost $4. I am very curious to see what the hell happens. So grass released at 63 cents. At least that's what this has. Went up to $3, 360, 363. And we probably should have did is when it came down to 280 and hit 363, we should have just hit sold. But I went and staked it with the Bid Harvest guys. I don't even know what the hell my grass is right now. But this is 19 cents. So let me ask y'all this right now. I know there's a lot of y'all in grass. I'm still in grass. What do you do when grass finally releases, whenever that's going to be between now and the year 2050? Are you going to sell, or are you going to hope that it goes up again? I'm going to tell you, listen, and please don't follow this advice. Please don't follow. I don't know why I'm even saying it online, but I keep saying over and over, there are way, way more people right now in grass than ever before. So the odds that all those people are going to hold and not dump right away is slim to none. Let's be honest. I don't know what caused grass to go up. Does anybody else know what caused grass to go from 63 cents on October 27th, and then 2 weeks later was up to 3 something. 4 weeks later was up to 360. What caused that? 6x price? I still think grass, just because I like to put my conspiracy hat on, I think what's going to happen with grass is there are so many people. If there really truly is 2.6 million, which I just can't ever believe that number. You can't tell me there's 40,000 people in Discord and there's 2.4 million that aren't in the Discord. That's not minors. That's individual people. Bullshit. But anyway, I just think that when those rewards are spread out with all those people, I think grass knows they're done. Now, again, don't follow me on that. I'm in a pissy mood today, so I'm making some wild accusations, and I'm drinking, but drinking Diet Coke. I wish I was drinking. If I would be drinking right now, this live would be 10 times worse. I probably would be suspended for a month from YouTube, and you wouldn't have to have me make up stuff. But my point is, I seriously think we're about to see some piss poor, horrible grass rewards if you have to spread this out to 2 million people. And I think grass knows people are going to say, I don't care if this runs in the background of my shit or not. I'm out. Because I want to do the same thing strictly because I think it's BS that they can't reward people for 14, 15, November, December, January, February. So you're looking at 16 months since, it was about 16 months since the rewards. That's horrible. There's no reason no crypto project should be waiting that long. Whale purchases. You think? Why would a whale go purchase grass? Why would a whale go purchase Wingbits? Why would a whale go purchase GeoNet? Why would a whale go purchase? I keep making these same claims. Like, this isn't helium years ago where there was very few deep in projects on that, alt token side for investors to go into. There's so many freaking projects now. There's so much altcoins now. How is a whale going to find the number 2,000 coin and say that's what I'm sure they got certain investors that are going to point them in those right directions, but that's my other concern also. I know I'm being negative and everything. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, I'm just trying to prepare myself. I'm trying to prepare myself. Look, we saw the other day, and I don't even know what token it was. If y'all know, tell me. I'll go look at it right now. I'm curious to see what it is. We found a token the other day. I forget what it was, that had a 10 billion market cap, 10 billion token supply. I mean, and was what, like 20 something cents, 25 cents, whatever it was. If y'all remember, please tell me. And I got all super duperly excited because I have a million wings tokens, and I wish I would have never found it, because I'm willing to bet whatever y'all want. See, I don't want to bet because crazy things, crazy things happen. I was gonna say I'll get on my butt cheek, Godfather of the golf, if it ever gets to 25 cents. That's how crazy I think it's not gonna get to 25 cents. But you know what? There's some goofy person out there that will go get a loan and go buy a whale's worth at 25 cents so Grumpy gets a tattoo and then just goes and turns around and sell it and pays off the loan. There ain't no way I'm taking that chance. Whales drop big money on tokens all the time. I'm not doubting that. I've never said they don't. All I'm saying is every day there's 20,000 meme tokens made a day. That's adding to the number of alt tokens out there, right? How do they find this one? Is it up to the project to somehow advertise that this token? Not that I'm really advertising this project. How do they get whales to buy this one token? Let's see what the stats say. More than 40 to 60,000 new meme tokens are created daily. Sometimes 100,000 during periods of intense market hype. Because you know, one little thing happens on the news and everybody's making the. I guarantee right now, after Giselle or whatever her name is took the fifth, guaranteed there's a meme token somewhere that says Giselle fifth. Want to bet? Or Giselle, or anything Giselle. Giselle's a liar. Giselle's hiding. Whatever. 50,000 memes. This is from 2024 a day. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm in the meme game. I look at Pump Fun. Majority of these tokens last 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. But some of them get legs. They're way and just from some of the videos I've watched, there are way more tokens now than there was the last bull run. And people are trying to say, people that know a little bit more than me, because I don't know, but I'm not saying they know. People who act like they know more than me, who sit there and say, the reason we didn't have this crazy alt season bull run on the alt side is because there's way more alts this time versus last time. And that money still kind of came in. Now, Bitcoin and the ETF took way more, took a lot of money, but you did have a good amount of money come in, but it was just spread out more. You know, if I have a certain amount of water in a jug right here and I'm putting it in this cup might go this high. But if I'm using a smaller cup and I put the same amount of money in there, that cup might overflow. So that cup, the smaller cup might have been from the 2022 or 3 bull run, whatever the hell that was, whatever the last bull run was, 2021, 2020, whatever bull run was. You also had a lot of that, was it Donald Trump or whoever was giving all these checks out to people and stuff like that. And people were buying, some people were making a smart decision buying crypto with it. Some people were going to a strip club. Put mine towards groceries or something. I don't know. But anyway, back then the cup was smaller. So you had this chunk of money that came in and it filled that cup up. Alts go up. This year you have a cup this size and money comes in and you have more alts for it to be spread out in. That's kind of what I've seen in several places. I still argue that you still didn't have the amount of money come in or the timeline that you did the last time for alt season. I still say, and I might be completely wrong on this, Won't be the first time this year. Won't be the last time I'm this year. I still say we're not 100% going into a bear market yet. We in just some screwed up times right now. But we all know, let's all be honest here. This crap's being manipulated left and right, from the president's office to the exchanges and to anywhere in between. And let's all be honest with ourselves. Because you have several YouTubers who are saying the same thing I'm about to say. It takes one tweet. Remember last bull run, it was like one tweet. We just need one tweet from Elon. One tweet. We can get to $1 Dogecoin if Elon would just text Doge one more time. Remember we thought it was going up to $1 at Saturday Night Live and people were buying that crap all day. And then he made a joke that crypto was a scam and a joke. And what Doge did. And now this time it's like, they got people saying, if Trump would just or post something positive about Bitcoin and crypto, this whole 65,000 thing will go away. It's scary, isn't it? It's scary that you have people with 1 million subscribers or 500,000 subscribers or 700,000 subscribers, not the 36,000 Grumpy's got, who are saying that. Crypto is so easily manipulated. If Donald Trump comes out and says, we're working on more reserves and we're going to be buying up more Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and Solana, what do you think's about to happen? This whole thing is reversed like a 180. Tell me I'm wrong. And it's scared that it can be that manipulated. But it's true. Tell me it's not true. Polymarket betting's taking a big chunk of profits. People out there betting 100,000 USA will strike before February 9th. Results in 100,000 loss. Betting 100,000 like it's $100. But it's still all going somewhere. Unless they're taking that, they're betting crypto, but unless Polymarket's then cashing it out, maybe. I don't know. I ain't gonna say it's not because I haven't looked at those numbers. But hell, George, all he talks about now is his betting thing and people getting all bent out of shape on it. But he must be doing pretty damn good. That's all he talks about now. People are telling him in the chat, "Hey man, we come here for all crypto stuff, not just your betting program." And he's like, "Well, this is my channel. If you don't like it, don't stick around." Pretty strong. I know people who bought his token. George does crypto, or George does whatever the hell that thing's called. And they did pretty well. They had a little sell off towards the end, but they did pretty well with it. But I still say, you get Trump and Trump's son and somebody else to sit there. Because listen, I still say this, as far as we know, Trump's son, Trump's other son, his daughter, who knows who else in the Trump family, they own crypto. And they don't like to lose money. I'm quite surprised they haven't tried to push it up. I think they're waiting for another big drop to buy more myself. But that's why I'm not worried about this in the long term. Do y'all really think Trump and his family are going to sit here and lose money in crypto? Come on, guys and gals, if there's any gals watching. I think it's an accumulation period. It could drop more, absolutely. But we thought about this in 2020, whatever it was, when Bitcoin was 20,000 and Solana was $13. We all thought, we all kept telling ourselves, man, if Bitcoin would just go down to 40,000 again, I'd buy it up. But Bitcoin goes down to 30,000 again, I'd buy it up. And we weren't buying. Bitcoin goes down to 25,000. I'm not buying yet. But if it goes to 20, I'm buying. And then it's a 20, nobody buys. And then we started hearing Gareth Soloway promising, who was pretty accurate until this point, who says, don't buy yet. It's going down to 8,500 to 9,000. That's what Grumpy was sitting there waiting on. And then it bounces at 15 something, and you're like, oh, hell. And then next thing you know, you blink and it's $30,000 again. You're like, fuck. But, while I'm on a negative roll, I'll say this too. How do you watch what just happened? and expect more people, more mom and pops, more grandparents to take their bags of cash and throw that in crypto. All this manipulation there. Do you think now you do have this certain crypto groups of people out there who believe we need to get back to this decentralized, the retail and the whales hold too much power and ETFs hold too much power and all the stuff like that. We want to flush them out the market. But I still say, and George will even talk about this, and Tyler talks about this, that if it wasn't for them, we would have never reached $120,000. In 19 days, you would have lost 40% of your portfolio with Bitcoin. 40% of your portfolio. Tell me other stocks, your decent amount of stocks. Bitcoin's supposed to be the gold. Bitcoin's supposed to be the standard or whatever. Who do you think is going to go put into this where they sneeze and they lose 40%? That's crazy. You went down $37,000 in 14 days. Or what was it? 19 days. You went down 30 grand in 7 days. Manipulation, sell-off, wars, Epstein files. I don't care what it is. But how do you convince people to go back into this when you're like, hey, just put your money in there? Look, you have to make sure you watch it because tomorrow it could be down 80%. But, and the reason I talk about this, even though we don't talk a lot about cryptos and these layer 0, layer 1 tokens, whatever you want to call them, it still affects us down where we're at with the deep in stuff, whether it's Solana or Peak or AVAX or VET or whatever project that we're playing with, what you're playing with, what I'm playing with, and what blockchain they're on. Because you don't think it has a trickle down effect? You don't think Solana going from $200 to $80 makes a difference on the price of whatever? Name a project that's on it. Helium, Entropy. It all trickles down. We all know this. Have you covered that already? Oh no, I 1,000% agree with you. When in doubt, zoom out and you look at it. But again, I know where you're getting at, and I don't disagree. But look at this arrow right here. So yeah, if they got in 2023, they're doing really, really good. But if they got in since October of 2024, if they got in after October 24, they're down. October of 2024. Which, surprisingly, coincidentally, there's no such thing as coincidences, is the last time grass tokens were paid out. You know, but yeah, I mean, if you want to zoom out for how long? But you look at some of these drops in the back. This drop isn't natural. You haven't had a drop like this far. I think I'd like to give credit to whoever watched that the other day, but George or Tyler said that you haven't had this sharp of a drop in this short of time frame, like ever. I don't know if that's supposed to make me feel better or if that makes me feel worse, because you're telling me it could happen again. Because if it happened this time, or you're trying to tell me that this is the only time it's happening, it's very rare. Got work still texting me. Oh, well, listen, Happy Canadian, I'm not disagreeing with you because we brought that up last live and actually Wendy O's the one that brought it up and George brought it up later. I like to give them both credit. I don't want nobody to think I came up with this off the top of my head, but gold and silver are supposed to be your safest of all the stuff we talk about, whether it's the dollar, whether it's crypto, whether it's stocks. And you had gold that also looked like it was being manipulated. But I haven't looked at it. But from what I heard on the radio today, your stocks have rebounded. And my buddy had to rub it in my face too. Gold has rebounded. Crypto's still on the way down. Now, it's come up some. This is the daily chart. So it came down February 5th down to 62,000. It's come up. But what's it did since then? It's coming down again. Let me see if I can figure out how to pull up gold. So crypto had gold had 1, 2, maybe almost 2 full days. You can even say 3. Where it went from 56 to 44. But what's it done since then? It's going up. Where Bitcoin's going down, it's going up. Silver, I guess if you look at here, it's not going down like Bitcoin's doing. Kind of sideways the last 2 or 3 days. This is the stock market. This is where I think the crypto money's going. I think you had some uneasiness, if you remember a while back with the stock exchange. People were pulling their money out the stock exchange when they were talking about tariffs and all this craziness like that, putting that into Bitcoin. That helped Bitcoin go up. And now you have those whales taking their money out of crypto, putting it back into stocks. That's what I think. Again, not financial advice. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I just remember them talking a lot. All these people I watch, whether it was Wendy, whether it was Tyler, whether it was George, whether it was anybody else, talking about they're taking their money out of stocks and they were putting it into either gold or crypto, Bitcoin mainly, especially with the ETFs. It made it easier for them to do it. And now you're watching Bitcoin go down, money coming out of Bitcoin going up on the stock exchange. What do I know? I'm just here waiting for more to grow. Oh, 619. What's this nonsense? Dump a cup of water into a pool and you only get a puddle. To the moon. You the one telling everybody last week you quit crypto and you want all these crypto projects to pay cash. You thought I'd change my mind a lot. Fart corn. How the hell did it get popular? Vosk. I'm not disagreeing with that. I think that was part of the equation. But when I first got into helium, Vosk was not talking about it. They had 18, 19,000 maybe. Token was, I can't remember. I hate lying to y'all because I don't want somebody to go pull it up and say, you got it on this date and this is what the price was. I can tell you this. It was like $1, something, $2, $3, maybe something like that. And eventually goes up to like 10, 20 bucks. When I made my $5,000 in 17 days, Vosk was not involved in that at that point. Now, as it went up to 30, 40, and $50, that was Vosk. Not 100% Vosk, but I think Vosk, you can hold them responsible for it going to 900,000 plus stations. But who knows? But you got to take the good with the bad. If it wasn't for Vosk and pushing helium that sold 900,000 stations, would we have ever gone to $40 or $50? No way. Because that's why I went to $40, $50, because they used helium for the licensing fees of each one of those devices manufactured. And then there was a fee to onboard it, which the manufacturer paid for. That's 2 fees paid with helium for every device. And that's why I say you'll never see helium up again, because they're not selling devices anymore. What they sell? A couple of Wi-Fi offboarding projects, devices every now and then. Hey, look, maybe Mass Chain and CapturGO save us all. Funny fact is, I have not run CapturGO since it updated. That's about the only thing I haven't updated. I haven't told y'all that I probably could have told y'all in the update video Monday. I don't know if they fixed it. Y'all can tell me if they fixed it. If they did fix it, I apologize. But as of like last week, since the update, you can no longer run that app in the background. Well, that was the beauty of it. Now, I kind of understand some of their points. CapturGo is not meant just to be a program that runs in the background as you drive around. It's meant to be a reporting type app. If y'all are familiar with Waze and you're going down with Waze and you can mark the policeman on the side of the road, you can mark a pothole, you can mark a stick in the road. It was meant to be something like that. As you're driving down the road, you are reporting things, you're getting credit for that. And if it's running in the background, then technically you can't do those reportings. When I went last on their Discord, everybody was complaining about it. They said, we unaware that you can no longer run it in the background. We're working on it. Now, again, I'm going to say I have not been caught up to date with it. So I don't know if they have fixed this or not. But as of right now, you know, projects, you have people in projects now that hate referrals. They attack YouTubers, that referrals. And now you got a project, CapturGo, that says you can't join without a referral. Wouldn't you want to just make as many people as you can? You know, is this a way to force people to use referrals so that the people referees are getting? I don't know, man. Who's misusing the system? Inappropriate, explicit, or offensive profile pictures. All right, so you can't use the picture you took last night of you and the wife in bed. Oh damn. Nobody's telling me I'm wrong, so I don't know. Y'all even running CapturGo? If you are, if you need it, use my code. My code's in the link below. No, I don't know if it even is or not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on CapturGo. Speaking of, I don't know what's going on. Let's check the hellhole they call Telegram and see what we got in there. Motorola, Chirp. Let's see. Combinder. To make our development pathway more tangible for our members and supporters, we put together a token vision. It outlines in broad strokes how we see the Web3 and Web2 energy world working together, acting as mutual multipliers for each other business's models. Mm-hmm. So they have finally updated for the few of y'all who are probably in Combiner. For the longest time, you could not change your email address. So they have now moved up to the 19th century, and you can now go to manage account and change your email address or password. That's the Combiner news. What else? Brusho's looking for creators to do stuff. Yeah, okay. How about the project do something? I just keep brushing away. I'm using my brush show and I'm brushing away, and that's all I can find. Oh hell. I mean, oh well. What else, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? It runs in the background on your phone, Dave, but my phone gets hot running. So, Dave, what kind of phone do you have? Like I said, they might have fixed it. But as of last week, it was a known issue that when you upgraded to the V2, at least on the iPhone, I was driving, and the only time I would get a hex populate is when I pulled it up to the front of my phone. As soon as I closed it, so I could text or make sure 375 AI was running or whatever thing I was doing, because you can't text and drive. Hands free. Um, it would not populate hexes. When I went on Discord, there were several people discussing it. The team said they were aware of it. I didn't see no announcements just now saying they fixed it, but they could have fixed it. They could have fixed it. So what I'll do is when I go to work tomorrow and I set up all my phones, I don't see why I have to keep signing in over and over, but hell, it is what it is. And I'll see. I'll see on my way to work. I'll run it in the background, see what happens. Login code for CapturGO 30687. Come on. They won't even let you paste it. Why does everybody have to redo everything? Oh, all right. It wouldn't work. So anyway, so I've been busy with all that. Been busy as hell with Mesh Core. So the person who got me involved in Mass Chain, I can kick you in the balls. But I am full bore also on Mass Chain, as if I got time for it. We have started really pushing it in the region. For y'all that don't know what Mass Chain or Mass Core is, go check YouTube. There are several videos. One day I'm gonna do a video on it. I just don't have time. Been building a lot of repeaters. Had a meeting last night, talking about it. Also got several EOCs and stuff hooked up. I got people calling me now all day today, wanting repeaters, and which is a good thing because we're trying to get built out. But again, on top of Mardi Gras, on top of everything else, I thought I was having chest pains today. It's crazy, but stress. But anyway, what else? Anybody got anything else? Anybody want to talk politics? That'll wake everybody up. What y'all thought about the Super Bowl? I was cooking the whole time, so my wife and daughter wanted Buffalo Wild Wings, which we didn't have a Buffalo Wild Wings around here. It's about 30, 40 minutes away. So I'm like, don't worry, Dad can make that homemade for you. So I'll go to the store, buy some chicken breast, cut it up into like bite-sized chicken strips, find a recipe online for the batter. I make homemade, but the Buffalo Wild Wings, sauce, the recipe for, because my daughter wanted honey barbecue, my wife wants buffalo, I wanted Asian teriyaki. So I got to take a little saucepan and I'm making sauces. I got to shake them all in there and stuff like that. That shit took like a while. I missed half the freaking, I missed half the damn Super Bowl. We're not even going to talk about the halftime thing because I think it's just one more thing that the media is using to divide people. No matter which one you watch, you're going to think you're on the right side. So why even discuss it? Oh, what else? Let me scroll up, see if I missed anything. Roberto said, I'm focused on geode wings and 4D Sky and staying away from other deep end products. Now, when Mass Chain comes out with their plug and play, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, look, I'm interested in Mass Chain. I told y'all, I find it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But I also haven't been in the Discord the last 2 or 3 days. I'm not going to lie. Hasn't been an announcement since February 1st. Discord has really slowed down. That's not good. I put this on here February 6th because Daniel's having the issue. And poor Daniel, if you are watching, I apologize. I have not gotten back to this. I feel so bad. But Daniel keeps getting this error that I need to look into. And that's it. That's it since February. That was 5 days ago. That's not. But I mean, I haven't even gone back to my Baton Rouge station. My Baton Rouge station shows online, and for some reason, I have no ships on it. Even though you can spill the Mississippi River from there, just don't have time. I don't have time to go out there and troubleshoot. That's another thing I'm putting. Maybe after I'm working on weekend parades and stuff, so it ain't gonna be then. I need to go tomorrow and get a freaking haircut so bad. Oh no, it won't work. Ladder and window won't work. I got rover LC, but I can't mount on top of the car. Not allowed in my area. Is it possible to put inside the car? It will work. No. 619 answered it for me, but he is correct. LiDAR window won't work. Laser refracts very badly off of glass, so you're gonna have to ride around with Darth Vader's helmet on your hood, which is on your roof, and it's one reason why, despite how bad I really wanted the light cone, how great the rewards were, there's no way I could have got it. My wife would have probably used that in the divorce papers to divorce me. When the judge would have said, well, why do you want, he wasn't cheating. Why the hell you want divorce? Look, Your Honor, look at this picture. Look what the hell he put on top of my car. Yeah, ma'am, you get whatever you want. More than half, probably. And then my work truck, I couldn't put it. My son wasn't going to go ride around college with that thing. He'd only be riding around the college with it. So, but if you're somebody who does hot shots or does, meetings an hour or two away a lot or out of state a lot, it's all for you. Even with the price going down, the tokens, I mean, it does pay pretty good from what I'm told and what y'all have told me on here. So, I get mad at people telling me to hold and then they sell. Welcome to crypto. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on it. We've been on it for 80 hours. 80 minutes. I appreciate everybody who has, the usual family members, as I call y'all, who kind of, floated with my schedule this week. Tomorrow we're supposed to be going to a parade. One that my wife has some friends standing in. It's one of the kind of bigger parades. I don't like usually going to parades during the week. in New Orleans downtown, especially when you have to go to work on Friday. But my niece does have a balcony apartment that the parade rolls right in front of, and I'm hoping to get some pretty decent footage and maybe share it on one of my YouTube channels. Um, Now my wife's saying because of how early they're saying because of road construction, how early that we would have to get there, and now my wife's saying I don't know if I'm dealing with that. No place to park already before the parade even gets there. Then you got people there, and I'm not walking a mile to my niece's apartment. So I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Saturday and Sunday I do work my parades out here. I normally Saturday's a pretty cool parade because it's a neighborhood parade that still rolls through a neighborhood like the old days. People dress up their golf carts or a pickup truck with a trailer behind it. They put some effort into it. They get rowdy, and it rolls through neighborhoods, a couple streets in the neighborhood, and it's pretty big. And what I normally do on that one is I will normally take one of my 7 phones and stream that live, likely on the Grumpy Dad Outdoors YouTube channel. So for those of y'all who might be on the other side of the world or even in the United States that don't ever see those type of parades, it'll all be, it might be worth your while just to take a look. It's funny because I've been working out here for 29 years. So I know a lot, I know a decent amount of people, and these people know me. And they've been hitting the bourbon and the beers and everything else, and they'll come walk up to my my window, hey, how the F are you? And I'm like, mute, mute, mute on the YouTube channel, mute, so I don't get in trouble. Because I like to try to sometimes keep the windows open so y'all can kind of hear the people in the crowds and stuff like that. But every now and then, not everybody likes public safety. Or you have the idiots that confuse us for ICE, and you get some a-hole comments. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do this year. I might post it. I might not. I don't know. As usual, it's kind of like this live. It gets a couple people that come in and out and watch the live. And you get somebody who says, "Hey, I'm from Europe. This is awesome," or something like that. It is only on my other YouTube channel, which only has 10,000 subscribers. But I'm afraid if I put it on this one, y'all tell me. If you want me to put it on this one, I will. I think the algorithm for me is so screwed up because I haven't been posting any videos lately. I haven't posted a video in 10 days. I don't know what's going to happen. Sunday, I work at a command post, so it's hard for me to stream, but there is the sheriff's office does post a link that you can watch there, the parade link, and it's much bigger, much longer. Excuse me, bigger floats with 18 wheels that pull the big floats, double decker floats sometimes through neighborhoods and streets. And if I knew of a way of streaming that stream on my YouTube, I would do it. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not. Sometimes when you try to use OBS to stream another stream, like we tried looking at a video last week and it just had a black screen. And I'd hate to set all that up and then find out it won't let me do it. I don't know. So I don't know. Just tell me what y'all want. Y'all know I'm gonna do whatever y'all want. Some of y'all are bad influences. So all right, guys. Apparently you don't have nothing else. Nobody's saying anything. I appreciate the 10 people in here, especially being on a Wednesday. Last minute time change with another last minute time change. Tomorrow's up in the air. If I don't go to the parade, I might come on. It'll be a last minute live and there'll be some nonsense rambling like we did on this one. Maybe I'll actually do some little bit of homework and see what's going on with some of these other projects and discuss it. Or my wife might, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna happen because she don't watch my YouTube. I can talk about her. She will change her time, her mind 3 times tomorrow. She'll probably tell me this evening she don't want to go. She'll probably wake up tomorrow and say she doesn't want to go. Then during the day, she's gonna say, "I feel bad. I promised my godchild I was going out there, She's making food. I was supposed to cook all kinds of food and pastelaya and stuff for everybody, or jambalaya for everybody. It didn't bring enough left over so she can feed people for the parades this weekend. Sure, no problem. So then my wife's gonna be like, "Well, we were supposed to cook and bring food for her, so we're gonna have to go." That'll be during the day sometime ish. Whenever my wife gets time to text, 10:30, 11 o'clock ish. She's a principal at a school. Then about 3:30, 4 o'clock, when it comes time to make a decision if we're really gonna leave or not, she's gonna be tired, possibly stomach hurts, definitely a headache. She's going to find some traffic app somewhere that says somewhere in between here and the hour drive, there's a little bit of traffic. And she can say, yeah, we're just not going to go. Watch. I'll call it. When you've been married for 23 years, you know it. You know it. All right. So I'm the only one talking. So I'll tell you what, I appreciate everybody who has supported the channel. I'm going to tell you that every time. Tell you a lot of y'all feel like family to me, and I appreciate it. I know this ain't the best crypto advice channel. I don't know why y'all follow. I don't know why y'all come sit in the lob, but I welcome it. I'm glad y'all do. I thank y'all for doing it because, you know, it ain't like y'all getting the alpha information here. Let's be honest. I wish I could bring y'all that kind of stuff right now. It's hard to talk about It's hard to talk about anything until Wingbits goes TGE or somebody officially goes under or we figure out what the hell Nubula and Junk Coin's doing, because everybody's asking about Junk Coin. Junk Coin basically cleaned out all their liquidity, and somebody sold 8 billion Junk Coin or something like that and took all liquidity and ran. We don't know if it's the project people. There's nothing really in their Discord. I was supposed to mention that earlier tonight. That's why I mentioned it now. C-Man wants to take over. The console's not even working on Junk Coin. Is anybody even still in Junk Coin? People are still paying money to boost the Discord. I wonder how many people are actually still burning their tokens on Junk Coin. That's the question. Damn, you know what else I didn't do? Normally on Mondays when I do my video. Oh, Junk Coin, you can't even get to the website. Listen, I don't normally call for violence. But you know, the people in charge of this project, when I would talk negative about them, would hit me up in Discord and try to clarify things and try to do things. Hey, I see you back in Junk Coin. Can you talk about us in YouTube channel, shit like that? Where the hell are y'all at now? You know, this is another project that you could not sell. If you sold one junk worth 0.0001 cent and you sold one junk, you could never claim again until you replaced it. Replaced it 4-to-1 burn, or you burned 4-to-1. Remember that? Yeah, they attacked you. Like, you could not buy. I mean, you could not sell a single junk. At least with even entropy, you could sell a little bit and sell a little bit and sell a little bit. With junk, you sold a token and it was worth what, 0.000006 cents each. And you were done. And this is what the hell they do to us? I'll be goddamn, like somebody's in there talking about we need to start junk 2.0. The hell you do? This is like those people who joined what was that coin? Frack coin or whatever the hell that project was. Slap coin, crack coin, fracking coin, I don't know. When they mysteriously sent all the tokens to somebody who was dead set ready at that time to sell. Yeah, there's nothing coincidental about that, right? And a bunch of y'all joined right back in that one. Shit. Burn me once, you ain't burning me twice. Get the hell, I forget what that token was. P13 says good night. So I'm going to say good night, guys. And I'm going to make me a strong, very strong bourbon and Diet Coke. Hold the Diet Coke. No, I'm just joking. I can't drink alcohol straight. I'm not that bad. Might have me one. It'll be my first drink I've had in probably well over a week. But I need one after today. It's been crazy. So thank y'all for watching. Might be on tomorrow. Might be on this weekend. Keeping y'all on your toes. See if something happens in crypto. Find something to talk about. If not, we'll talk about which one of the Super Bowl shows we like the best. Because that always gets people excited. Thank y'all for watching and see y'all on the